roughly 7:01. Not an actual warning on that one in Kingfisher County, but we saw the tornado come down. And then we have one along and just south of Interstate 40. And so along Interstate 40, it's moving east 35 miles per hour. You know, if you live along or you're driving along El Reno area, Interstate 40, just don't drive in Canadian County on Interstate 40. If you know someone's going out that way, stop them, have them turn around. On the projection, we'll call Surrey Hills 620, Yukon 620, Surrey Hills 623. Good. Move that over there. Okay, thank you. And so we'll go Yukon 620, Surrey Hills 623, Sundance 625, Lake Overhoser 628, Bethany, you guys 632. Go to Hank. Go to Hank. Hank, go ahead. Tell us where you are, what you have.
Hang on just a second.
Hey, I'm sitting east of where David and Val is, looking back to the southwest. I can see a very large lowering right in the middle of the rain core. It almost looks like a dirt ball right in the middle of that rain core. It keeps dancing in and out. I'm pretty sure this is where the circulation is. It's going to be just probably back to the west of David a little bit. I'm at I-40 and 270. I'm a couple of miles east of him, looking back to the southwest up in there, and I keep seeing this feature that is rotating, and it comes in and out of the rain. There very well possibly could be a tornado touching up and down on the ground right now, Jerry.
Okay, which one?
The Calumet El Reno.
Okay, the Calumet El Reno tornado being reported on the ground by the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. That's with that storm. So your tornado precautions, take those even north of Interstate 40, but primarily it's a second, we call it along and just a little north of I-40, and then south of I-40 in southwestern Canadian County, and it'll be moving along Interstate 40. So if you have people coming in toward Oklahoma City on Interstate 40 from the west, don't go past Hinton. Stop at Hinton, the Hinton exit. If you have people going west, have them just call your friends, family, whatever, tell them not to go into Canadian County at all. This thing is very large, continues to grow, continues to strengthen, and we have not seen the end of this. Michael Armstrong's put up the velocities there, and they're really continuing to increase. High-speed winds with it, high-speed.
It's going to be wrapped in rain, too.
So, yeah, you may not be able to see it too well, so, don't go outside and look at this thing.
There's one that's wrapped up in the rain. There's also some rotating scuds just on the south edge.
Yeah, trapped in the rain.
Core. So we've got two areas of circulation. One where there's primarily a walk in and out of the rain, and then just back to the south of it a little bit, there's more rotation, a little closer to the rain today.
Okay, someone turn the radios down there. Alrighty, we're watching this tornado warning. You should take your tornado precautions from southwest Canadian County. Canadian County joins Oklahoma County on the west. So you should continue to do with your safety precautions. Below ground is best. Keep in mind a flat safe room, cellar, basement, best. So keep that in mind. If you don't have that and you're trapped in your house and you don't have time to get away, you go to the center part of your house, lowest level, smallest room, and that would be a closet or a bathroom. And take your shelter there, put on a helmet, put on shatter-resistant goggles, put on your long pants and shoes and long-sleeve shirts. Wrap up in blankets if that's in the center part of the house. Circulation is indicated very close to Interstate 40, just to the west of El Reno. So it's going to be moving right along there. You guys, the businesses out there, just take your immediate tornado precautions. This is a very dangerous, dangerous storm. Part of the problem is it's wrapped in rain. We see Sky News 9 up there, and really, there's so much rain, we don't see anything. Kelly, what are you getting?
Just wanted to pass along to you real quickly, Gary. They're delaying some flights out of Will Rogers World Airport, which makes a world of sense. And you mentioned that I heard the OHP talking about one of their troopers had spotted something between El Reno and Calumet just a little while ago, something maybe that touched down on the ground. Sounds like we've had multiple incidents of that. Folks, if you have an event scheduled tonight or you're planning on going to something, looking at this weather, there are a lot of cancellations. We're going to be running through them here in a little while. But right now, the most important thing is to stay on top of these storms that are tracking down I-40 up in, up the Hennessy area toward Perry and Stillwater. It's really getting going.
Folks in Hennessy, I just talked to some people there, and they said the hail sounded like gunshots hitting their roof. They said it was a little bit bigger than quarter size, but Kelly and I were monitoring all the emergency managers. We're listening to the emergency manager channels on
This
scanners.
tornado is indicated on the ground very close to Interstate 40. We have a TVS that's a tornado vortex signature. So you guys all along Interstate 40 from west of El Reno to Yukon, and even up to Concho, then down south, Cedar Lake, Union City area, as it moves into the Oklahoma City area. And there's a tornado warning on it. That tornado warning really is fairly small at this time. Wouldn't you say? It looks like they only ran that out to just past El Reno. But I can tell you folks that live east of El Reno, if you live in Yukon, Bethany, the Village, Oklahoma City, southwest Oklahoma City, west Oklahoma City, you know, I would go ahead and take my tornado precautions. You know, it's better to be safe than sorry. This thing looks like it's going to turn into one humongous cyclonic supercell, which is already doing right now. You can see the big circulation right there along Interstate 40. The winds, they're high-speed winds. And all those storms we had out there, it looks like 2 or 3 of them are just congealing into one big storm. And let's, as you look at all this, look at that. Look at that. That's a signature of a very strong circulation. We've had at times a tornado vortex signature indicated in there.
This is 2 miles east of the 281 Spur and I-40 intersection. That's this area right here.
On there?
Yeah, it's El Reno's going to be the next in line. There's,
okay, but I mean not towns, but the streets.
Oh yeah,
if you can
we can do that.
Streets on there.
Yep.
And as Mike, go ahead. Who we have there?
David, hey, listen, you can take our screen here. You can see the right side of what's going to be the tornado, or at least the right side of the wall cloud here in our stream. And looking back to the west here, that circulation is about 3 miles to my west, and you got to get away from it. Actually, it's completely wrapped in rain, but you can see the right side of what it's going to be, either the tornado or the wall cloud that's going to be on I-40 right there. You can just barely see it on the right there as I'm looking off due west. And again, circulation's right to my west, 3 miles coming right at us right now. And again, I don't see any power flashes, but we're going to get closer here and see what we come up with. Gary, back to you.
All right, appreciate that. Val Castro, you out there? What do you have?
What's that over there?
Val, go ahead.
Gary, yes, I just want to report a funnel. We just had a funnel almost right over us. This is going to be about 6 miles east of Methodist Road, right over I-40. This was a small funnel. I don't think this was right in the middle of the main circulation. This was a little bit ahead of it, but it was a well-formed funnel, a very thin funnel that formed and went about halfway to the ground. Did not see any debris or anything like that. But it was 6 miles east of Methodist Road, right on I-40, Gary.
Okay, great information from you guys. I know Hank's out there with you. And we're watching Sky News 9, Bob Mills Sky News 9 on the bottom side of this, and we can see nothing but rain. But let's check in with Jim Gardner. Jim, go ahead.
Come back to your other way.
Jim,
Gary.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Gary, we're right over here on the, let me find out what road I'm on here. Okay, this is going to be South Ranch Road. We're going to be just south of I-40. We're about 2 to 3 miles east of the 281 spur there, and I believe whatever's on the ground is kind of like right in here. It's going to be rain wrapped, Gary. That's the biggest problem with these things, but there's a lot of dirt. Now there's a lot of dirt being drawn in from the south here. I don't want to take the picture off the storm here, but I'm looking south of me, and all the fields have got dirt blowing into me and past me and right into this storm, so it is pulling in huge volumes of air here. But anyway, you can see right as DJ, let's see, go back to your left a little bit, Jay. Go back to your left. There you go. Right in there is where David Payne and all of them's been reporting. You can kind of see the dirt and everything off kind of going up in there. So if anything's on the ground, Gary, I believe it's right in there, but it's going to be rain wrapped, which is the most dangerous tornado you can have because you can't see it coming at all. So we'll just keep tracking it. If we ever get an eye on it, I'll let you know, Gary. Jim Gardner live from Bob Mills, Sky News 9. Back to you.
Let me go to base.
Okay. It's the winds. This thing is continuing to organize. There's extremely strong winds well away from the circulation, right above the ground level, 70, 75 miles an hour flowing into this. And as you look at that on the storm shield, you can see it's 9 miles, at least the center of it. It's big, though it's big. The center of it is 9.1 miles west-southwest of the spur. Go ahead.
Hey, Gary, I am at I-40 and 270. I'm just on the east side of the circulation. I'm actually in the rain and hail core looking back to the southwest. I don't know if you can make it out in my shot, but the wall cloud is about a mile to my southwest. I don't see a tornado on the ground right now, but I do see a low-hanging wall cloud that's about halfway to the ground, and the hail and rain is getting sucked past me up into this storm. So this thing is really cranking, and it looks like the circulation is going to be just south of I-40. I'm at the 270 I-40 exit, and it's moving just to my southwest right now. I don't know if you can see my screen yet.